And I've also reviewed information from pretrial services, which lets me know about your prior criminal history, if any, as well as the information you were able to provide regarding your ties to the community and any references.
También he revisado el informe de la Agencia de Servicios Procesales, que me informa de las circunstancias del caso, sus datos personales, sus datos de la comunidad, etc.
They also complete assessments and recommendations.
Y también hacen la evaluación y recomendación de ellas.
Would the state like to be heard further regarding its recommendations?
No, Judge.
Pensa, ¿quisiera comentarme algo más sobre las circunstancias?
No, Judge.
Dice que no.
And defense?
¿Y la defensa?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask that he be released pretrial services, or in the alternative, that a bond lower than $7,500 be issued in this case.
Señora juez, lo que pedimos nosotros es que sea excarcelado bajo la supervisión de la Agencia de los Servicios previos al juicio, o en la alternativa que se reduzca la fianza a una cantidad más alcanzable.
He's been a resident in the community for 35 years. He has a residence in town and can stay there, and he is full-time employed.
El señor ha radicado aquí en la ciudad por 35 años, tiene su propia vivienda aquí y trabaja de tiempo completo.
We would ask that the court also consider the non-violent nature of this particular charge.
También pedimos que considere usted la índole no violenta de este cargo en particular.
And we would ask that the court consider that while he does have one prior, that prior was criminal damage, similar type DUI, and his probation was looks like successfully completed there from our information.
Y también decimos que aunque sí tiene una condena previa por haber impuesto daños a propiedad ajena por cargos similares a estos, parece ser que sí cumplió bien y hábilmente con las condiciones que le pusieron en aquel caso.
Sí. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Gracias, señora.
I'm going to order a bond of $3,000 cash or secured. If you're able to post that, you'll be released to pretrial services.
Sí, le voy a poner una fianza de $3,000, señor. Si logra depositar la fianza, pasará usted a la supervisión provisional de la Agencia de Servicios Provisionales a Pretrial Services.
You'll be required to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You may not possess firearms or weapons.
También se someterá usted a cualquier nivel de monitoreo o tratamiento que le recomienden ellos. No podrá tener o poseer licor, drogas ilícitas, ni armas de fuego.
And you may not drive unless you've been issued a valid driver's license.
Tampoco podrá conducir sin tener licencia para conducir vigente.
Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing on May 30th at 1:30.
La próxima comparecencia en su caso será una audiencia preliminar el día 30 de mayo a la 1:30 por la tarde.
If you fail to appear for future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Si no se presenta para audiencias en el futuro, se ordena su detención, señor. ¿Entiende lo que le digo?
Sí.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're excused for today.
Gracias, es todo. Puede retirar, por favor.
Usted tiene la información de decisión de juez y la información para llamar para su boca.
Sí, y entonces la otra corte va a ser a las 1:30 de 30 de noche.
Sí.
Sí. Ok, y esto me lo tengo que pagar.
Sí.
Pero ¿en dónde lo pago?
Puedes hacerlo directamente con el jefe. También puedes ir con la otras condiciones si los
Entonces esto es lo que tengo que pagar.
Sí.
Ok, ¿dónde lo voy a pagar?
Puedes hacerlo aquí, pero también puedes hacerlo entre bondsmen y hacer bajo de eso.
Ok. ¿Y dónde puedo conseguir la dirección para el banco? ¿Dónde está?
Aquí.
Sí.
No me gusta el llamado, pero no tengo más información de eso. Bueno, por favor.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Buenos días, deme su nombre, por favor.
Cynthia Tapia.
Cynthia Tapia.
Ms. Tapia, this is the time for your initial appearance. You're here on misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct, criminal damage, assault, and endangerment, which are all domestic violence offenses.
Señora Tapia, se encuentra aquí detenida con cargos de violencia doméstica, de delitos menores, de agresión con agravantes, de alteración del orden público y otra acusación que resultan de violencia doméstica.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Tiene usted el derecho de guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá y será usada en contra suya.
You have the right to be... Sorry, you have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf.
Tiene usted el derecho de contratar su propio licenciado o licenciada y en ciertas circunstancias se le puede designar un abogado o abogada de oficio.
And this morning, we're going to talk about your conditions of release.
Esta mañana también vamos a hablar de las condiciones de libertad provisional.
If I were to order that, oh, actually, sorry, I've just also noticed that there is an immigration hold for you.
Le iba a comentar algo más, pero acabo de notar que existe una orden vigente por su detención del Departamento de Inmigración y Administración de Aduanas, ICE.
And that means that if I were to order you to be released, you would not be released into the community, but you would be released into ICE custody.
Lo que significa eso, si ordenara que se le excarcelara, no saldría a la comunidad, sino a las manos de las autoridades de inmigración.
And so for that reason, I would be inclined to order that you be held on a small bond so that you can address this matter.
Por esa razón, me veo inclinada a imponerle una fianza de cantidad razonable para que usted trate de resolver la cuestión que tenga pendiente con migración.
Since if you were in the custody of ICE, you would likely not be able to address this matter.
Y en vista de eso, si usted pasara a manos de inmigración, sería improbable que pudiera usted atender y resolver este caso pendiente.
And a warrant would end up issuing for your arrest.
Lo que resultaría sería la emisión de una orden de detención en contra suya por falta de comparecencia.
So I'm going to order that you're held on a bond of $250, cash or secured.
Entonces, lo que voy a hacer es ordenar que si usted ha tenido pendiente fianza de $250, ya sea en dinero efectivo o garantizado por propiedad.
If you were able to resolve your immigration hold so that you could post bond and be released, the additional orders would be no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence.
Ahora, si usted lograra depositar fianza y la declaración contiene que tiene pendiente con migración para poder ser liberada a la comunidad, las condiciones adicionales de libertad incluirían nada de licor, nada de droga, nada de actos adicionales de violencia doméstica,
No contact with the alleged victim. Do not return to the incident location except that you may return one time with a police escort to obtain your belongings.
ahora nada de contacto con la víctima que se alega, nada de regresar al sitio del incidente, excepto acompañada por una escolta de policía para recoger sus prendas personales una vez.
And establish an alternate address.
Y tendría que establecer vivienda alternativa, no donde estaba viviendo antes.
Your next court date in this matter will be on May 30th at 1:30 for a preliminary hearing.
La próxima audiencia en su causa se pacta para el día 30 de mayo a la 1:30. Eso sería una audiencia preliminar.
Oh, sorry, that's incorrect. It's in here as a felony, but it's really a misdemeanor.
Me equivoco porque se detalla como delito grave, pero realmente es delito menor. Espere.
So your court date will actually be tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Entonces, de hecho, la audiencia siguiente será el día de mañana a la 1 de la tarde.
And I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and that's going to be Jill Gukin.
Voy a asignarle un abogado de oficio para que la represente. Ella se llama Jill Gukin.
If you were to be released and then fail to appear for court, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Ahora, si lograra salir usted de la custodia y no se presentara a las audiencias que siguen, se ordenaría su detención. ¿Entiende?
Sí.
Thank you.
I understand.
Thank you. You're excused for today, and sorry for cutting you off.
Puede retirarse por hoy, es todo. Perdónenme la interrupción mía, dice la juez.
Está bien. No
It's fine.
¿Cuánto de fianza iba a tener?
Sorry, Your Honor, no 250?
250. Oh, okay.
Never mind, Your Honor.
She's just
Thank you.
confirming about $250.
Thank you.
Va a ir de lado. Give me this. Okay. Thank you.
Please state your name.
Diga su nombre, por favor.
Fidel Valle Delgado.
Fidel Valle Delgado.
Mr. Valle Delgado, this is the time for your initial appearance. You're here this morning on charges of possession of a narcotic drug for sale and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Señor Valle Delgado, esta mañana es la audiencia de comparecencia inicial bajo cargos de tenencia de droga narcótica para la venta y tenencia de parafernales de droga.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá y será usada en contra suya.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the public defender to represent you.
Tiene usted derecho a ser representado por abogado. Voy a asignar al abogado y oficio del condado Pima para que lo defienda.
You also have counsel seated with you for today's hearing, where we will discuss your conditions of release.
También tiene a su lado esta mañana a un abogado y oficio. Vamos a hablar de las condiciones de libertad provisional.
I've reviewed the state's request. They're asking that you be held without bond.
He revisado la recomendación de la Fiscalía. Ellos recomiendan que siga usted detenido sin fianza.
Under the Arizona Constitution, when you are on release, pretrial release for a felony, and you are accused of a new felony offense, you are not eligible for bail. So if the state makes this request, I have to honor it and then set a hearing within about a week for them to prove the additional elements required to hold someone without bond.
Ahora, bajo las leyes del estado de Arizona, la Constitución, se dice que cuando una persona está siendo supervisado provisionalmente por la Agencia de Servicios Previos al Juicio por cargos pendientes y comete un cargo adicional de delito mayor, se le niega la fianza en el caso nuevo. Y es lo que recomienda la Fiscalía. Y bajo la ley se recomiendan eso ellos. Tengo que honrar esa petición y pactar una audiencia dentro de una semana para que ellos respondan con los datos necesarios para justificar que sea usted detenido sin fianza.
I do see that you were on pretrial release as of February 21st, 2025, and this offense is alleged to have occurred this month.
Ahora, veo que estaba siendo usted supervisado por la Agencia de Servicios Previos al Juicio, Pretrial Services, desde el 21 de febrero de 2025, y esta ofensa ocurrió recientemente este mes.
So I will order that today you're held without bond, and I will set your case for a hearing for a judge to make the further determinations on May 27th at 2:30.
Entonces, lo que voy a hacer es ordenar que siga usted detenido sin fianza y pacto la siguiente audiencia para que otro juez decida cuáles condiciones son las que se militan en su caso nuevo, y eso será el día 27 de mayo a las 2:30 por la tarde.
I'm also. Who's saying wait?
That was off camera, Your Honor.
I'm also going to set your case for a preliminary hearing on May 30th at 1:30.
También le pacto otra audiencia, una audiencia preliminar para el día 30 de mayo a la 1:30 por la tarde.
If you are released and then fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand?
Ahora, si lograra salir, señor, y no se presentara a las audiencias que le corresponden, se emitiría orden por su arresto. ¿Entiende eso? ¿Lo entiende, señor?
Sí, sí.
Yes.
No, tengo que hacer.
You responded in the affirmative, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you.
Gracias.
Decisión del 27 de
17.
27.
Lo dijeron el 17 ahí, ¿no? Ahí dijo el 17 y después 30 de mayo.
Después vas a tener otra en el 30 de mayo, pero en el 27.
¿27 o 17?
27.
¿Sí? Entendía ella que era el 17.
No.
No, ya el 17 pasó. ¿Verdad?
Hoy día es el 20.
Ya.
No puede ser.
Ok. Y que tengo muchos animales en la casa. Tengo muchos chiquis, tengo caballos, tengo perros, mi hermano está enfermo, y el único que me atiende es mi hijo que está enfermo. Y yo soy cubano, pero tengo papel y todo.
Si tienes a alguien que puedes llamar. Hacer.
Para cuidar a los animales. Para cuidar a los animales. Dice el abogado que puede buscar a alguien que le atienda a los animales mientras está detenido.
Ya tengo muchas personas. Tengo caballos, tengo chiquis, tengo perros, tengo...
Your Honor, between counsel and the defendant says that he's concerned about the animals that he has at his home, but no one to look after them. He has livestock there, horses, goats, dogs, and no one to look after.
I'm not able to do anything about that today, sir. I wish you and your livestock the best of luck moving forward.
La respuesta de la juez, señor, es que ella no puede hacer nada al beneficio suyo y las bestias que tenga en casa. Lamentablemente, le desea lo mejor a usted y a sus bestias.
Okay.
Okay.
And sorry, Your Honor, is everything fine with Mr. Valle Delgado?
Yes, we're finished. He can
Okay.
excuse.
Ya puede retirarse, señor. Gracias.
¿Sí?
Y eso es información para usted. Eso es
Ah, ya.
Okay,
Gracias.
Señor, entonces, Mr. Wade, the Arabic interpreter matters next, Your Honor. Vamos a bajar ahí en la esquina. Sí.
Okay. And this is, I believe, the matter that requires the Arabic interpreter. So
Yes, Your Honor, right here.
thank you. Please state your name, sir.
اسمك لو سمحت.
Basim John Sholwit.
جاسم شولويت.
Good morning, Mr. Witt. This is the time for your initial appearance on a couple of different matters.
صباح الخير، ده الوقت المحدد لاستدعائك لاعترافك او مش اعترافك للتوصية او ان انا اقول لك ايه التهم الموجهة لك وفي اول ظهور لك امامي. Yes, Your Honor.
You have new charges of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia, which are felony offenses.
لك عندك تهم ان انت تمتلك مخدرات وكل ما له علاقة بالمخدرات، وده يعتبر اجرام، تهمة فيها نوع من الاجرام. Yes, Your Honor.
You have misdemeanor charges of shoplifting and failure to appear.
لك في له تهمة جنحة ان انت سرقت من متجر، وأيضا هناك تهمة ان تم اصدر قرار باستدعائك للمحكمة وانت لم تطاوع هذا القرار. Yes, Your Honor.
Those are out of Pima County Justice Court, and then you also have a number of charges from Tucson City Court.
وهناك عدد من التهم في سيتي كورت، وهذه التهم موجودة ما زالت هناك. Yes, Your Honor.
Those include 2 counts. Nope, sorry. That's 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of assault, 1 count of threats and intimidation.
التهم دي لها علاقة بالاعتداء على ممتلكات الآخرين والاعتداء على اعتداء. Yes, Your Honor.
As well as possession of drug paraphernalia, criminal damage to property, and disorderly conduct.
وامتلاك مخدرات وتسبب في الخسارة، وكمان كان هناك سلوك غير منضبط من قبلك تجاه الآخرين. Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
لك الحق في انك تصمت، واي شيء ممكن تقوله ممكن ان هو يكون ضدك. Yes,
I will enter a plea of not guilty for you on the new Tucson City Court charges.
هقول ان انت غير مذنب في التهم التي كانت ضدك اللي ليها علاقة بسيتي كورت.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I will order appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office on the new felony charges and the City of Tucson Public Defender on the Tucson charges.
أنا لك الحق في إن يكون عندك محامي، وأنا ممكن أعين لك محامي، وهذا المحامي سيمثلك في كل ما تم تهم الموجهة لك من قبل المحاكم الأخرى.
And I will order appointing John Illis to represent you in Pima County Justice Court.
وأحكم بأن جون إليس اللي هو المحامي يمثلك في التهم الموجهة لك من Justice Court.
We're going to talk about your conditions of release.
أتكلم الآن على شروط إطلاق سراحة.
Did you have recommendations for this one? Okay.
Your Honor, state turned them in. Were they not received?
I don't have the one for this case. So can you just state your recommendation on the record for this case?
Your Honor, given that we're looking at several different instances of possession, the state's going to be recommending a $4,000 bond released to pretrial.
Thank you.
الولاية تقول إن هناك تهم متعددة كثيرة لها علاقة بحيازة مخدرات، إن أنت تمتلك مخدرات، فبالتالي تقرر الولاية إن يكون لابد إنك تدفع $400 علشان يطلقوا سراحك.
Thank you. Defense.
المدافع.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, on this case, we don't have that much information. I wasn't able to receive any from pretrial services in advance.
في الحقيقة أنا المحامي وليس لدي معلومات كافية من قسم الخدمات ما قبل المحاكمة بشأن هذه القضية.
However, I do think, given that we're dealing with drug possession charges, even though it's a few different instances of it, at least from the interim complaint that I saw, it was an amount that was consistent with personal use.
أعتقد أن بالرغم أن هناك كذا تهمة لها علاقة بحيازة مخدرات، أجد أنه من ما كان هو موجود الآن أمامي أن ما كانش أنت لن تكن تتناولها شخصيا.
We would therefore ask that if you do impose a bond in this case, that it be less than the state's requested bond. I don't know very much about Mr. White's financial situation.
أطلب من المحكمة إذا كانت تقرر كفالة، أتمنى أنها تكون كفالة أقل من الكفالة اللي تطلبها الولاية، لأني في الحقيقة لا أعرف موقفك المالي ولا أعرف إذا كنت تستطيع أن تدفع الكفالة التي تقررها الولاية.
However, given that if it is personal possession, in my view, we would ask that the court consider that in imposing a bond on these cases.
ولكن أنا علشان شايف إنها كنت أنت تمتلك شخصيا هذه المواد المخدرة، فبالتالي لابد أن يكون هناك نوع من الكفالة تدفعها.
Thank you. Based on the failure to appear history, I am going to order a bond of $250 cash or secured in the felony matters pretrial services if bond is posted.
لكن أنا أحكم بناء على أن أنت لم تظهر في المواعيد المحددة للجلسات السابقة، أقرر كفالة $250، وده لأن ما يعتبر التهم الموجهة ضدك تعتبر إجرامية.
Additional conditions of release are to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons.
وبناء على ما يقرره قسم ما قبل المحاكمة، أيضا أحكم أن أنت لا تمتلك أي أسلحة نارية أو أسلحة عنيفة ولا تتناول المخدرات.
And your next court date in this matter will be scheduled for a preliminary hearing on May 30th at 1:30.
والجلسة القادمة للنظر وهي جلسة مبدئية أولية تقرر تاريخ شهر مايو، شهر أيار 30. What time, Your Honor?
1:30 p.m.
الساعة 1:30.
And then we'll move on.
Your Honor, just in case he doesn't understand the month in the Arabic terminology, because it has different terms in different dialects, so I'll just mention the name of the month in a different way. شهر 5 30 في الشهر الساعة 1:30. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And then turning over to the Pima County Justice Court matter.
وهناك
ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Please go ahead.
بالنسبة للتهم الموجهة من Justice Court هتتكلم الآن القاضية. Yes,
I am going to order a bond of $50 cash or secured.
أأمر بكفالة $50 سواء تدفعها بشكل نقدي أو بطريقة أخرى. Yes,
The additional conditions of release are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location.
وأيضا من شروط إطلاق سراحك لا تتناول المخدرات، لا يكون في حوزتك أي أسلحة، لا تقترب من الضحية في هذه الحالة. Yes,
And your next court date for the Pima County Justice Court case is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Judge Foreman.
وظهورك المرة بالنسبة للتهم الموجهة لك في Justice Court يكون غدا. Sorry, Your Honor, at what time?
1 p.m.
الساعة 1 غدا. الساعة 1 غدا لابد أنك تظهر في جلسة في Justice Court. Yes, Your Honor.
هنا في السجن ولا مطلع الوقف؟
So will I be out of custody? Will I be out of jail, or can I now leave and go home?
So I'm ordering some bonds on your cases, so you'll only be released if you are able to post the bonds.
لأن هناك كفالة، ففي الحالة دي لابد إنك تدفع الكفالة حتى يطلق سراحك.
أنا ما أقدر أدفع الكفالة، أنا مش شغال، أنا ما شغال خالص، لي أكثر من 3 سنين مش شغال، وما في حد بيدفع أدفع الكفالة من فين.
I can't pay the bond, Your Honor. It has been like 3 years. I haven't been working, and I don't even have anyone to ask to pay the bond for me. This is something beyond. I mean, indigent. This is something beyond my capacity.
All right, your attorney in each case will be able to file a motion to modify the conditions at your request for your next court dates, okay?
المحامي في هذه الحالة ممكن يقوم بطلب تعديل وتغيير لكل ظهورك في الجلسات القادمة.
So I have one more set of cases to address, and that's the Tucson City Court cases.
عندي أيضا تهم أخرى موجهة إليك من قبل City Court.
And to handle all of those different charges, order a bond of $200 cash or secured.
حتى نكون نستطيع ان احنا او استطيع ان انا اتكلم على كل التهم الموجهه ليك من سيتي كورت، لابد احكم بدفع كفاله $200 خاصه بهذه التهم الموجهه ليك من سيتي كورت.
The additional conditions are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and to have no contact with the alleged victims. Do not return to the incident locations.
لابد ان انت تمتنع عن اخذ مخدرات، تناول الكحول، لا علاقة لك بالضحية، ولا تقترب من مكان اقامتها.
If you remain in custody, your next court date on the Tucson City Court cases is going to be May 30th at 1:45 p.m.
انت لابد ان انت تستمر في الحجز والحجز وظهورك مرة قادمة في سيتي كورت سيكون لابد هناك جلسة لابد من حضورها في شهر 5 مايو، في شهر 5 30 في الشهر الساعة 1. Your Honor 1:45?
Yeah.
الساعة 1:45 دقيقة، يعني الساعة 2:15.
And if you were released before then they would vacate that date and you would instead go to Tucson City Court on June 18th at 2 p.m.
لو حصل ان اطلق سراحك سيتغير هذا الميعاد، التاريخ الذي ذكرناه، ويحدد تاريخ آخر شهر 6 يوم 18 شهر 6 الساعة I'm sorry Your Honor 2 p.m.
Yes.
الساعة 2 شهر 6 يوم 18 إذا حدث وتغير التاريخ.
If you fail to appear for any of your court dates after being released, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
إذا لم تظهر في هذه الجلسات سيصدر أمر في القبض عليك. Yes, Your Honor.
The hearings can also go forward in your absence. That includes trial.
وممكن الجلسات دي تستمر ولن تتوقف حتى لو أنت لم تظهر، وممكن تؤدي إلى محاكمة. Yes, Your Honor.
And if you were convicted and then failed to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
ولو أنت تم اتهامك وأطلق حكم ضدك لن يكون لك أي حق في الاستئناف. هل أنت تفهم هذا الكلام؟ فهم هذا الكلام ولا أعيده؟ Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
اتفضل، هذا كل ما عندي اليوم لك.
Sorry, could the interpreter just communicate to Mr. White that the paper I just handed him has the information on his different bonds, attorneys, and court dates?
يا أستاذ، الورقة الذي قدمه لك المحامي اللي فيه معلومات لها علاقة بالكفالة وكل ما قيل، وإلى جانب التاريخ الخاص بكل الجلسات القادمة.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The interpreter is excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jacob James Farrell.
Mr. Farrell, this is the time for your initial appearance. You're here this morning on charges of misdemeanor assault. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning, and since you are being held on another felony matter that is not before me this morning, I would be inclined to hold you on this case as well, and then you could be seen to start your case moving tomorrow at 1 p.m. So I will order a $50 bond that'll be cash or secured, and the additional orders, if you were to be released, are no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not go to the victim's residence or workplace. And so I will order appointing an attorney to represent you. Her name is Jill Gukin, and her phone number will be on the paperwork you receive after court. Your next court date in this matter will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you happen to be released before then, it will be your responsibility to appear, and if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you.
See. Good morning. Please state your name.
Stetson J1.
Mr. Juan, this is the time for your initial appearance. Looks like you are here on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and criminal trespass, which were in warrant status. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am going to appoint Peter Gutierrez to represent you. And we're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. Based on the failures to appear, I am going to order a bond of $100, cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond and be released, the additional orders are no alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not return to the incident location of the criminal trespass. Your next court date will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. before Judge Foreman. And if you were to be released and then fail to appear for court, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
$100.
Please state your name.
Humberto Carlos Monge.
Mr. Monge, this is the time for your initial appearance. You're here this morning on charges of misdemeanor assault. It's my understanding that you're also being held on charges that are not before me today, that are felony charges and also misdemeanor charges out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing Jill Gukin to represent you. Her phone number will be on the paperwork you receive. I'm going to order that you're held on a bond of $100, cash or secured. If you are able to post bond and be released, the additional conditions of release are no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim, do not go to their residence or workplace. And your next court date is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Judge Foreman. If you were to be released and then fail to appear for that court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
1 p.m. tomorrow?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Here, right? Huh?
Good morning. Please state your name.
Aaron Granados Pena.
Mr. Pena, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on a fugitive warrant issued out of Kern County, California. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Legal Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to set your case for a hearing on the fugitive warrant. That's going to be on May 27th at 2:30 in the afternoon. And for today, I am going to affirm the bond that was ordered out of Kern County, which is $640,000. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you were to post bond and be released, then you would be required to appear at that fugitive warrant hearing. If you failed to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And the additional orders are no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim, do not return to the incident location.
Okay.
You're excused
Yeah.
for today.
Can I ask a question? Like, for the, if it's Kern County over there, like, when will they come pick me up, or how does that work?
They don't know yet.
Oh, they're
So they're going to do the set
Okay.
fugitive warrant
Okay.
extradition when they take you back. Or
Okay.
after that.
Okay, so can they just like show up, or I'll figure that out here, or can they still just come pick me up, or?
Well, your lawyer will have more information about that.
Okay.
The legal defender will be the person who's kind of representing you on the
Okay. Okay. All right. So then just here's where I'll get the information for all that. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you. Guys, have a good day.
We're not going to see him. What number is he? Oh, I had Castillo as 6 and Kuntz as 8. So I can give you his file. Here we go. All right, please state your name.
Ezekiel Castillo.
Mr. Castillo, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here on a warrant out of Cochise County. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Let's see. We are going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. And I am going to order that you are held on a bond of $5,000, cash or secured. And if you, wait, sorry, do I have the right thing? You're just here for a review hearing, sorry. So you've already been held on a bond, and we're just checking to see if you're still being held here on another matter or if you had been released to Cochise County. And so what I'm going to do is set another review hearing in 30 days to see if you're still being held here or if you have been released to Cochise County. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today. Please state your name.
Christian Garcia.
Mr. Garcia, it looks like you were here this morning for a review hearing to determine if you were still being held on local matters or if you had been released to Maricopa County. It looks like you are still being held here on local matters, so I am going to just set another review hearing in 30 days to see if that's still the case or if you have been released. So that'll be on June 20th at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
That was Christian Garcia.
Madam Chairman.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Lacey Julie Wadsworth.
Ms. Wadsworth, you're here this morning for a review hearing to determine if you were still being held in Pima County on local matters or if you had been released to Nogales. It looks like you are still being held here. So what I am going to do is set another review hearing on June 20th for the same purpose to see whether you are still dealing with local matters here in Pima County or if you have been released to Nogales Justice Court. Do you understand?
Well, I understand, but I thought I had already a date for June 11th for a review hearing for this matter.
On the Nogales?
Nogales. Yes. Because I have sentencing on the 4th of June, and then I have a review hearing for June 11th for the Nogales matter.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, it looks like that is correct. When did you say your sentencing hearing was?
June 4th.
June 4th. Okay, so I can change this to stay June 11th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're excused.
Thank you.
That was weird. Because it did say June 11th on her paperwork in the file. Oh, she's also not going to appear. Did you ask me if I still have a lot of files? Oh, I gave them to him. Sorry. I didn't think about pulling yours out.
There. Mr. Boat, you're going first. I'm chair. Laguna, Martinez, Rodriguez, Guzman, Hogan, Lozofbotox. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. State your name.
Tanya Chabot.
Ms. Jabel, this is the time for your initial appearance. I have a couple of different matters here for you. I have charges of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear out of Marana City Court, and then in which a warrant was issued for $350. And I also have charges out of Oro Valley for possession of drug paraphernalia and shoplifting. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. On the Marana City Court case, I'm going to order a bond of $50 cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond, you'd be released, and the additional condition of release would be to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. And you'll be seen on that case tomorrow at noon for a case management conference. If you were to remain in custody, the jail would make you available for that hearing. If you were to post bond, it would be your responsibility to appear. And I am going to appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you. And then on the Oro Valley charges,
Your Honor, I believe Oro Valley has been seen on a summons. Being held on a summons, I'm sorry. That's the Oro Valley.
okay, so does that mean I shouldn't be addressing them this morning? Okay. Does that sound correct to you, clerk? Okay, then I will not address the Oro Valley cases today. All right. Then do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
At your excuse.
Thank you.
Here, Laguna. This Laguna, this side, this side.
Great.
We give you a chance to that side.
Please state your name.
Sierra Laguna.
Laguna, this is the time for your initial appearance after being arrested on a number of different matters. Those include charges out of Pima County Justice Court for shoplifting and failing to appear for court, and a separate shoplifting charge out of Pima County Justice Court, and then a shoplifting charge out of Marana City Court that was failure to appear, and a warrant had issued for your arrest. And then there are a number of charges out of Tucson City Court, which include shoplifting and possession of drug paraphernalia that were in failure to appear status, and a warrant had issued. And then I think new charges of criminal trespass, theft, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You are presumed to be innocent on the new charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain
All right, looks like we have
an attorney
everyone
will be
ready.
appointed
Mr. Campbell, are you our Spanish interpreter today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And have you been sworn in today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, if you could swear, you can accurately translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish.
I do.